Hey guys, Ashley Scather with Techno Buffalo here doing a controller comparison for the Xbox One controller. We just got our Xbox One in the office. We're really excited about it. It's a little bit different than what we've seen before. There's a couple of extra features available, a couple of extra buttons on here, so let's check it out. All right, everybody, so we're here with the Xbox One controller. We just got the Xbox One in office, and I figured I would give you guys a little tour of what's new on the Xbox One controller. Obviously, you don't see a back or start button. That's missing. Oh no, but that's okay because Microsoft's added a couple extra things. So let's check out what's going on with the Xbox One controller. Obviously, a really similar shape to what we saw on the Xbox 360, and we'll get into that in a second. I have a Xbox 360 controller over here to my left. Definitely a slimmer profile, no big giant battery pack poking out of the back of this. This is now just two AA batteries. If you have rechargeable batteries, you can recharge it with the micro USB right there. Very handy. And let's talk about these two buttons right here. So this one is actually a really interesting contextual button. So let's say you are using Internet Explorer on your Xbox One and you want to bring up the navigation menu. So you would actually hit this and it would bring up a series of like either a menu or a different view. In Forza Motorsport 5 though, instead of bringing up some sort of menu, it actually changes your camera view. So you can go from first person to third and so on and so forth. Like all your different camera views, rear view, you'll be able to change that with this button right here. So it does change based on the app or game that you're using, which is kind of nice. And then this one right here is a menu button that is going to allow you to do things like switch profiles. So if you want to do a quick change, you're playing a game and then you decide, oh, my friend came over, I'm going to let you play on your Xbox Live profile, they can go ahead and sign in with this pretty quickly, which is super nice. So thanks, Microsoft. No options or share button on here, but I would say the closest you'd get to options would maybe be this menu button, like the PlayStation 4 has on their controller. This is now your home button, which is quite a bit more subtle. It's definitely flatter than the one that we saw on the Xbox 360, which I actually think is a really nice change. I always found it very odd that they really put it front and center here. I think it should be a little more subtle. Because, hey, that's what controllers are all about, right? Being subtle. They should be like ninjas. You should never know they're there. They should just work fluidly with your hands and be an extension of them. So a couple of other different things. One of the things that they're doing here is, here are your bumpers. Your triggers are actually a little different. They're a little wider. And the triggers now they're calling them impulse triggers. And what's happening here is there's haptic feedback inside these triggers. So let's say you are playing Halo and you are shooting at people or shooting at aliens and you're using your needler and you are, you get haptic feedback in here, or you get shot back, or the flood comes and just destroys all of your happiness. You can feel that right here inside the impulse triggers. Let's compare with the Xbox 360 controller. So here it is. Here's both of them. I'll stack them on top of each other if you guys want to see. So a little bit smaller, but not too much smaller. Obviously, the back and start buttons have been removed, eschewed for the new contextual and menu options available on the new controller. The same sort of setup of the thumbsticks are here present. They've actually lowered the analog down into its own sort of pit instead of having it sort of raised up, which I find really interesting. I'm actually curious to see if I like that better than the 360, because the 360 was a really good controller, and it still is. It's still a great, great controller. They've made the buttons here a lot more visible. They don't fade away into the same color background, which is definitely a bonus for anybody who might have a little trouble seeing, somebody colorblind. Definitely good options happening there. So let's check out what they look like from the top. Obviously a new setup up here. You've got your micro USB, and then definitely different than this one right here, which is a lot different and obviously slimmer. You don't have these big, huge battery packs in the back, which is always nice. They've brought the triggers closer and made them wider. So this is actually, I think, a really good design decision, especially with first-person shooters. I have a feeling you're gonna find that these triggers, the way these are designed to sort of wrap around as opposed to having to do this, like make sure you're on these really skinny little triggers, is going to come in really, really handy as you play games. So that's the comparison of the Xbox One to Xbox 360 controller. Now let's take a look and see next gen console wise what it looks like next to the PS4 controller. So here's the PS4 controller. And we went through a little controller comparison last week when we got our PS4, but we didn't have an Xbox One controller to compare it against. So you can see, obviously, both of them still kind of keeping in the design language of their previous console generation, but not quite that. So definitely a little bit different. I do like both of them equally. This one's a little bit lighter, but is definitely sturdier than the DualShock 3 that we saw with the PlayStation 3. It does have a little more heft to it, which actually feels a lot better in the hand. This one, the Xbox One controller, actually feels a little lighter than the previous gen. So while PlayStation 4 and DualShock 4 went a little bit heavier, it looks like the Xbox One controller went a little bit lighter than the Xbox 360. Let's check out the DualShock 3 just for kicks, because we have it here in the office. Man, this thing looks archaic now. Now that we've seen what the DualShock 4 looks like, a 6-axis controller really just doesn't really do much for me. It also feels super lightweight. So that is the 6-axis controller. I just wanted to give you guys a little visual comparison here. And then of course, we'll break out Big Bertha, as I like to call her. This is the Wii U gamepad. So here's the Wii U gamepad. Obviously, you could probably almost fit the entire Xbox One controller inside the Wii U gamepad screen, which is really fun. But it's definitely very, very different than what you would, use on your other two consoles, your next-gen consoles. But I just figured for fun we would show you guys what they looked like together all at once. And that is our controller comparison. We're actually going to be playing quite a bit of PlayStation 4 and Xbox One games over the next few weeks, and we're going to give you a full comparison and opinion on which controller we think is the best. If you guys have any questions about the controllers that you want us to maybe answer while we're checking them out, we would love to hear them. Drop them down in the comments, or you can head over to technobuffalo.com and leave your comments there. We are really excited to be continuing our Xbox One coverage. You can always head over to technobuffalo.com to check out all the latest and greatest tech news. I'm Ashley Esqueda. We'll see you guys next time.
What's up everyone, John here. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, I certainly hope you did. Click on the subscribe button right under me in my pants region to get tons more tech videos from Techno Buffalo. We've got awesome unboxings, comparisons, reviews, recaps, and everything else you can think of in the tech world right here on the channel. Join the herd today. If you want to check out some more content, just click right over this way to see some other recent videos. See you guys next time.